He's Satya Sankalpa. Anything he desires happens because him and his energies are non-different. And since whatever there is to be performed, his energies can perform it. And his energies are non-different from him. Anything he thinks up will happen. So skill isn't what's important to Krishna. But skill is the natural medium. Right? In other words, expertise is Krishna's expert, his energies are expert. So being expert at something is natural. That's why when a devotee is not very expert at something but has the ability to improve, you always encourage them to improve, not just stay wherever they're at. But if someone doesn't have the ability, you leave it, right? Because there's different manifestations of the energy, some very great, some smaller. So the idea that one is doing something well, that's considered your baseline. Then what improves above that is the quality of the attitude. So that's where the etiquette comes in, is because the appreciation. Everything's connected to Krishna. It's all about Krishna. So if anybody's doing anything to please Krishna, that's what's important, not that I'm the one pleasing Krishna. So there's no fight as such. There's no, in other words, any fighting or any competition is not based on envy. It may be based on jealousy, not envy. Because envy is destructive. They're doing, I must stop them doing it, someone else does. Like that. So but jealousy is, they're doing so nice for Krishna, we'll also do so nice for Krishna. Right? This way, then it increases, it gets better and better. And the best part about it is Krishna, because he's unlimited, he expands, and so everybody gets to do that extra specialness for Krishna. That's why Goloka is so big, right? Because you have to have unlimited manifestations so all the different devotees or groups of devotees can excel. Right? So for Rupa Goswami, it's that interaction. So now Krishna, if we think about it, Krishna is Krishna conscious. But that's not what's important to him. What's important to him is, means personally for himself. That he's Krishna conscious isn't what stands out to him, about himself, to himself. What impresses him is the mood of the devotees. So you could say the basis of being Krishna conscious is, like we said, being expert. Being Krishna conscious is the baseline. But being focused on the devotees, that's what attracts Krishna. So he's attracted by devotees. So if you're attracted by devotees, then there's something to do with Krishna. Otherwise, if you only like him, okay, that's great for Vaikuntha, but he wants to interact with the devotees. Vaikuntha means he sits there on his throne. Everyone comes there, offers prayers and that, and they're fanning their chamras, and it works great. But for personal interaction, we see when Gopa Kumar went there and was playing flute and interacting, it didn't work so good. They had to take him to the side and kind of read him the RIOT ACT, said, we don't do that around here, So then, So then, but in Vrindavan, it's all about the devotees. When you're hearing about something, it's about the devotees, right? It means Agasura, it's about the devotees, playing with the monkeys and the cowherd boys. It's the devotees, the cowherd girls. Mother just showed it. It's all about the devotees. So if one doesn't have proper etiquette with devotees, then for Krishna, there's no common ground. Right? Just that you're conscious of him. That's why Rupa Goswami says favorably conscious. Right? Prabhupada makes a point. First become conscious, then become Krishna conscious. If you're not conscious, how do you even know how to be Krishna conscious? But the point is that Krishna conscious must be favorable. Because otherwise, Shishupal is also Krishna conscious, right? We just heard, I think it was Jayapata Maharaj was saying, or Purushottam Maharaj was saying that before he could speak, he was already insulting Krishna. Right? So as soon as the first words coming out of his mouth, instead of mommy or daddy, it's some insult to Krishna, right? So this is a A-class demon, right? So you're not going to get better than that, right? So conscious of Krishna, but it has to be favorable. That's why this is thrown in. Otherwise, we're just conscious on the Brahman level or Paramatma. This is my duties. I'm doing my duties. so I'm doing that to please Krishna. Yes, but why would Krishna want you to do those duties to please him? That's the Bhagavan level. That's therefore where etiquette comes in. Because otherwise the first two levels can be very dry. Don't have to be, but tend to be. But the Bhagavan level actually can't be dry. So if it's dry, it's not actually functioning fully on that platform. The other two are mixed. So the element is that the devotee is there, devotee is dear to Krishna, I have to deal with them nicely. Right? It's not just the rule, it's not just justice, it's not just morality, it's not just dharma, but the Saddharma is that relationship with Krishna. So that's what Rupa Goswami is pointing out. Is that okay? Very good. Anything else?
Harish, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj, for such a nice. Maharaj, we perform Vaidhi Bhakti. So, like in the beginning, there is a gross manifestation of advancement in Krishna consciousness. We see our consciousness is changing and all that. For a period of time, say, let us say 10 years, 15 years or more, we try to balance, we try to be in mode of goodness, we try to do our sadhana, we try to do our duties. So, how do we determine that we are advancing in Krishna consciousness?
Okay. First, I wouldn't use that advancing Krishna consciousness by saying consciousness would be gross. Because seeing that the body, that's gross. Then subtler than that is the mind, intelligence, false ego. Then subtler than that is consciousness. So, does that make sense? Right? Gross means he's not, between washing pots, he's not out the back door smoking cigarettes. That's gross. You understand? So he stopped that. Now you can tell he's advancing. But consciousness, that's always what you're looking for. Point is that when you're advancing, then, okay, you mentioned a line of things, mode of goodness, performing duties, proper knowledge, all these things. But why are you doing those? You understand? The beginning, I'm doing these because this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the recommendation. Right? But after a while, advancement means then you're doing that to please Krishna. So then it's not about the mode of goodness and the performance of duties and the knowledge. It's about pleasing Krishna with applying it in Krishna's service, that he's pleased. You know what I'm saying? I got it done, but were the Vaishnavas satisfied? Is Krishna satisfied? Right? Does that make sense? So then advancement will be, one can contemplate these things. Right? It's natural. You perform karma yoga, then knowledge and detachment comes. So then jnana yoga can be performed by the devotee. Right? Then naturally then it comes to jnana yoga. You're able to meditate on the Lord. Does that make sense? And then all these three, the body's engaged, the intelligence is engaged, the mind's engaged, that's buddhi yoga. So that's what Krishna is recommending. But why you're doing that is because it pleases Krishna. Therefore, sarva dharmam parityaja. You don't give up performing your duties in the mode of goodness. You perform doing them because they're in the mode of goodness. Right? You know what I'm saying? We're not vegetarian because it's mode of goodness. We're vegetarian because it pleases Krishna. You understand? Because otherwise, if we're vegetarian to please ourselves, then you could go any direction with that. I think it's good. So then whatever's popular that's also good can change. Does that make sense?
Maharaj, you were mentioning this karma yoga, and then it goes to gnana, and then it goes to dhyana in this way. So, is it that while performing Vaidhi Bhakti, for anyone who performs Vaidhi Bhakti, they have to go through, like we hear that anyone Shudras or Vaishyas, Shudras or any low class person can practice Krishna consciousness and he can go back to God.
What does low class mean? What's the definition of low class?
One who is in mode of ignorance, sir.
Okay, but you mentioned, okay, so then mode of ignorance. So is your businessman in the mode of ignorance? The mundane businessman?
Generally, the businessmen are Vaishyas. So
yeah, but is he in the mode of ignorance? Does he know Krishna?
No.
No. What about the Kshatriyas? Do they know Krishna?
No.
What about these modern intellectuals? Do they know Krishna?
No.
Okay, that's your definition of low class. Devotee is high class. You understand? Within low class, right? Then you have your divisions. Just like within garbage, right? There's divisions, right? There's plain glass, there's colored glass, there's organics, there's paper, plastics, right? But it's all garbage, right? So within mundane, then you have Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And that's still low class. But Brahmin low class is better than Kshatriya low class, better than Vaishya low class, better than, like that. You understand? But devotee, now that's high class. So devotee as a Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they're all high class. Then it's just a matter of what part you play in the social machinery. That's all. It's not a matter of once. A devotee who's a Shudra is not more low class than a Brahmin who's a devotee. You understand? It's just what duties they do. That's all. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll end here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhaktividya ki, Jainitai Gaur Prem.